We've been really excited to introduce the spring sports. We have baseball and softball. We are Miss Baseball star Seth Smith joining us from Hattiesburg, one of the dominant programs in college baseball right now. First of all, Seth, on the front end of this, thank you so much for joining us here on Southeast Sports Plus. Of course, we have an SEC show, and you guys have beat two SEC teams, Alabama and Mississippi State, so far this year. What has led to this early success here for you and your squad?
We have a lot of guys that are older. We have a lot of maturity. May not have seen it too well last night, but I think we have potential to be a really good ball squad. We have a lot of great leadership, and obviously, I mean, we have timely hitting as well sometimes, so that helps with winning.
Just talk about how exciting it has been coming out this hot in the season, and does it add any sense of weighted pressure?
It's been awesome. Uh, the fans that packed out the last two weeks have been absolutely incredible. This atmosphere is awesome. I would say there's no weighted pressure at all because we do a really good job of focusing one game at a time. We're not focused on anything yesterday or the day before. We're focused on Friday and playing to the best of our ability on Friday. I would say there's no weighted pressure.
Seth, you're off to a pretty hot start this year. I want to go back to your off-season plans, and I know you guys got to host a regional last year. How much did that ignite a fire in you to get better for this season, and what were some of those off-season preparations like?
Last year I didn't play too much. I was more of a role player. And I mean, obviously I want to play every game I can. I want to play. Um, something. It was something special. It was awesome. Um, in the fall, I really wanted to focus on perfecting my defense. And then in the fall, I also didn't really have a great fall. Um, worked with my dad a lot over the winter break. Fixed some things in the swing. Then came out in the spring. I did pretty well in the spring, inter squads, and then now we're here.
Absolutely. You play at Southern Miss, and Southern Miss to me reminds me a lot of like what Gonzaga does in basketball. It kind of bucked the trend of thinking of what the Power Four conferences do, because you are a power squad in college baseball. What is the mindset of the program, and when you were recruited there, and what you learned there? And you mentioned the crowds. What is the atmosphere like, the mentality like, to be able to not only keep up consistently game to game with the bigger squads, but also year to year?
So I think that has a lot to do with the culture here. My dad played for Coach Barry, who was here before Coach Oz was, and even the coaches before him, they valued culture and the way we do things, the way we play the game right. I think Coach Oz has done a fantastic job of keeping it that way. I came here to win recruiting wise. This was a top program in my selection. It was also one of my only offers, or my only offer. But I knew as soon as Coach Krill pulled the trigger on me, this is where I wanted to go. They win a lot of ball games, and we play the right way. It's been an awesome decision on my end. I love playing here. There's nowhere else I'd rather be.
And Seth, on top of the success that you are seeing early within the team, you also just got named to the Brooks Wallace Award watch list. Talk us through what that means to you and, your mindset going into the season, knowing that you are on one of the top 100 shortstops in the country right now.
I mean, I feel honored to be on that watch list. But with that being said, I couldn't do it without the guys believing in me and picking me up when I'm not playing my best. And um, I don't know. I'm just incredibly thankful for the team that we have here. I enjoy playing with these guys a lot. This is probably one of my favorite groups that I've ever played with.
So,
A lot of good friendships and teammates that I have on this team.
Seth, I grew up playing baseball, ended up playing college baseball over in Division III, and the biggest thing that I remember from baseball is you got to deal with the highs and the lows, but stay even keeled throughout the whole process. How have you found a way to stay even throughout the whole process since the season is 50-plus games long?
A lot of talking with my dad.
Yeah, I remember
Um,
that.
um, I think I didn't do too well with that early in my career. It's something that I've really focused on this year, not riding the high too long, not riding the low too long, staying level headed and Just playing one game at a time, one at bat at a time, one pitch at a time. I mean, it's my dad's helped me out a lot with that.
Yeah, you talked a lot about your dad. Let's give us some of his background. You said obviously you said he played there as well, so he knows what you're going through. He's literally been in your cleats. What has that been like? The relationship been like since the time that you were a kid to where you are now, and just being able to have him impose his wisdom on you.
So he played for Coach Berry at Meridian Community College. Got drafted out of there and had a 13-year professional career. Um, so I mean, he knows a little bit about the game. He's always there when I have a question, even when I don't have questions sometimes. Um, I don't know. He's been steady there always. It's been an awesome relationship to have. Anytime I have a question, he knows the answer. It seems like.
Growing up with a dad who obviously had so much success in baseball, was it ever a question to you if this was going to be your path, or were you hitting off the tee from a young age?
I was on the field with him probably since birth. I knew this was the sport that I loved. I played other sports in high school, but once I started realizing what the recruitment process was, this is exactly the sport that I chose, and I mean I don't regret it one bit.
Seth, being from the Gulf Coast and there being so much rich baseball history here, what does it mean to you to be one of these faces in the up-and-coming generation, to be from the Gulf Coast and just the time that you've spent down here?
Yeah, Mobile was a great area, baseball-wise. I was blessed to play with a lot of future college baseball players and even some professional baseball players. I mean, it was just like there was talent all around us. It was always a learning process. I was able to learn from the guys who came before me and pick their brains a little bit, see how things were done, and obviously it's helped me out a good bit into the success of today.
No question. Obviously, the Sun Belt has been really talented for a very long time. As you look forward to what's ahead in conference play, this is obviously a league that put Coastal Carolina in the championship series. You guys have been red hot. Troy's had good seasons as well. South Alabama historically has had great years. What's the mentality shift like when you go from the non-con to the conference?
Obviously, our non-conference gauntlet has been a gauntlet. We've played some good teams and we've been able to win some of those games. Obviously, we're pushing to break the barrier of the College World Series, and that's our goal for this year. Not only to get there, but to win it. Our conference schedule is packed. I love they mean a lot. I love playing in this conference. They just mean a little bit more.
And Seth, I know you said that Southern Miss was your only offer coming out of high school, but can you just kind of walk us through what that recruitment was like, what stood out about Southern Miss, and what led to your decision ultimately that you were going to go play baseball in college?
Well, Coach Berry was the head coach here during the recruitment process, and obviously, like I said, my dad was there. He's kept a great relationship with him. I see him all the time around here. I talk to him, give him a handshake. It was kind of very, very straightforward. Like, if they were to pull the trigger on me, I was going to pull the trigger on them. Like, this is where I wanted to go. I want to play baseball here.
Seth, you brought up the talks with your dad, and for me it was talks with my dad, but also sitting for 20 minutes outside of the shower trying to figure out why in the world I went 0 for 4 3 straight games in a row, and I kept on hitting it right at everybody. So I totally feel the pain sometimes with baseball being a game of slumps as well. But since it does take so much of a toll on your mental well-being, so to speak, what does Seth Smith do outside of baseball that is for fun and gets his mind off of baseball?
I spent a lot of time with my teammates and my friends.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we talk about baseball here and there, but a lot of those conversations aren't baseball related. I try to keep my thoughts about baseball here at the field, and when I go home, I take my mind off of it. I mean, obviously this season's long. You don't want to get weighed down in your thoughts of failure and the game of failure too much.
Absolutely. As you look back at your time at Mobile Christian, you won 2 state championships. What are some of the things that you remember from your time here, especially in high school? Because those are those memories that you can't ever bring back. And are there some parallels to what the Leopards locker room was as to what the Golden Eagles locker room is?
I think the main parallel is the chemistry that we had. A lot of my closest friends came from those high school teams. We played for great coaches. We played the right way. That's another similarity. We played hard. I don't know. High school was fun when when we won those state championships. It was a good time.
Talk about that chemistry that you guys have. I know you just talked about it on your high school team, but moving over to Southern Miss, talk about the chemistry you have within that team. I know you said you guys spend a lot of time outside of baseball, but how do you guys work together when it comes to on the field chemistry?
Our leadership is good. We have a bunch of older guys, like I mentioned earlier, that have played this game for a while and they understand what it takes, and they're able to get the best out of each and every one of us. Um, Even with the transfer portal, like we've hit it, and some of our key players have come from it. They bought into the culture, and they lead well.
Absolutely. Seth, can't thank you enough for carving out some time for us here on Southeast Sports Plus. Man, you're having a great season. Continued success along the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.